man, please, these writers. You know what I'm saying? You see, I got my got the throwback, the curls popping and shit. Hide your girl, Spider. Hey, what's good, man? Sean Spider, man. I'm back with another one, man. And so in today's video, bro, I'm gonna be ranking every Gunna album. If you're familiar with me, you know Gunna. He's one of my favorite artists, man. You know what I'm saying? I went to his concert pretty recently. Listen, he's one of my goats right now. I ain't gonna lie. And I think this is gonna be a new series where I just start ranking every album in certain artists' discographies. But before we get started, man, like, comment, subscribe, bro. All that good shit, man. We trying to hit 5,100 subs, bro. I've been stuck in the 80s for a cool ass minute. Get me out of 80 jail. And also, bro, pretty much all damn near my videos, most of them views are from non-subscribers. Like, bro, hit the sub button, help a nigga out. But now that's out the way, man, let's go ahead and get started. Now in dead last place we have Drip Season. Let's start with the pros of this album. I ain't gonna lie, there is none. Now that that's out the way, let's go to the cons. Gunna went 0 for 10 on this project. He dead ass shot 0% from the field. But in his defense, this is his first project ever. Most artists' first project is usually a shitter, I ain't gonna lie. The only half decent song that I really rocked with was Out of Sight, Out of Mind. I'm gonna give this album a 61 overall with no badges. Delete this bill, Gunna. Next up at number 9 we have Drip Season 2. Now this is only Gunna's second project in his career, and he's already showing major progression. He hasn't become the flow goat that he is today just yet, but the signs are there. Now I ain't gonna lie, this is still a pretty bad project though. I only saved 2 out of 16, so you can do the percentages on that, but that's an insanely low field goal percentage. Those 2 songs that I saved are Japan and YSL. And to be honest, I really don't see myself coming back to them very often either. But I am very happy with this project because it showed the one thing you want to see from any young artist, and that is progress. Like, Gunna is still fresh in the game. I don't expect him to have mastered his sound just yet, but the one thing I could ask you for is progress. Just get better. And that's what he does on this album. I give this album a 68 overall with no badges. Next up at number 8 we have Drip or Drown. Now I ain't gonna lie, we starting to cook up a little bit because this is the first project I actually somewhat enjoyed from Gunna. Gunna really shows signs that he'll become the rapper he is today on this album. Now I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is the 3rd album in Gunna's career so far. And up to this point, Young Thug has had a feature on every Gunna album. And on all those songs, Young Thug easily outperformed Gunna. But on Don't Play With It from this album, this is the first time Gunna performs on par with Thug, and they show signs that they'll end up becoming a great duo. My top 3 from this album will have to be Drip or Drown, Don't Play With It, and Paid. For the first time in his career, Gunna has a good shooting percentage on the album. Gunna went 7 for 7 from the field, that's 100%. And I would give this album a 75 overall. You got some badges, a lot of them are bronze though. Next up at number 7 we have 101, Gunna's most recent album. Now I don't know if this is a hot take having it this slow, and I'm not even saying this is a bad album. This album just doesn't move me for real though. Like, from top to bottom, this album is filled with good songs. But I wouldn't say there's a couple or even one song that really just stick out to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the albums above this album have over 101. Another problem I have with this album is length. Now granted, 20 songs is nothing crazy. Especially in today's era where niggas be doing 25 plus a deluxe, making that shit 30. But here's where length comes into play within this album. See, on this album, Gunna has a couple songs that sound a little similar to each other. And so it's like, I already heard this song once, why do I need to hear it again, Gunna? And it really affected my listen. Now I'm not saying those songs are even bad, they sounded good, but it's just because when I'm going through a full listen of an album, I don't need to hear the same song twice, especially on a 20 song album. It's gonna make the album feel like it's lasting longer than it really is, and it's gonna drag on to me. At least that's how shit works for me. But because this album had 20 songs and songs that sounded similar, it made me devalue a couple songs, and it's just like, I already heard it once, I really don't care about this song now. You know what I'm saying? That's really my main gripe about the album and why I have it this low. The best feature by far was easily Roddy Ricch though. But like I said, this is not a bad album. You know what I'm saying? I still come back to a couple songs from this album. It's just those songs I come back to, they don't really move me for real, you know what I'm saying? And I also feel like this album is more of a chill album, you know what I'm saying? It's late at night, you can turn this album on. You playing the game with the homies late, turn this album on. Like, it's a great chill album. I've already experienced my chill moments with this album. It's great. My top 3 off the album will have to be Time Reveals, Be Careful What You Wish For, The Time, and On One Tonight. I would give this album an 80 overall. Nothing too crazy. You got a couple badges now at this point though. Next up at number 6, we have Drip Harder, the collab tape with Lil Baby. Now I feel like when this album initially came out, it was definitely overhated, but nowadays no one really talks about it that much, so I would say it's more so on the underrated side. It's not the best collab tape ever, but Baby and Gunna both do their part on this album, making a very enjoyable album. Now, my humble opinion, I do think Lil Baby outperformed Gunna on this album, but that's a topic for another day. Gunna and Baby really show that they work together great and that they really just complement each other well. I'm really gonna miss this duo. Hopefully one day they're able to make music again. At this point in his career, Gunna has not unlocked the smoothest rapper ever title yet, but he shows on this album he's on his way there. His verses on songs like Drip Too Hard, Business is Business, Belly, and My Jeans are evident of that. Gunna and Baby go 11 for 13 from the field on this project. My top 3 off the album are I Am, Drip Too Hard, and Close Friends. And I would give this album an 81 overall, just slightly better than One of One. And low key, those two albums are pretty interchangeable, I ain't gonna lie. At 5, we have Drip or Drown 2. Now first of all, I just want to have a moment of appreciation for this album cover. In case you didn't know, that shit is not Photoshop. Gunna actually went underwater to get this shit done, you know what I'm saying? That's dedication. Plus, this album cover is really hard. It's definitely one of my favorite album covers of all time, not gonna lie to you. This album is really enjoyable. We got a couple of all-time great Gunna songs on this album. For instance, Baby Birkin, Three-Headed Snake, Rich Millie Plain, I Don't Know Why, and Who You Foolin'. Like, he was cooking on this album, bro. I ain't gonna lie. At this point in his career, Gunna has finally found his sound. He's comfortable with this flow. There is no beat that he really can't flow over, and that is evident on Who You Foolin', one of the best beats I've ever heard in my life. That shit is beautiful. Mwah. My top 3 from this album have to be Baby Birkin, Who You Foolin', and Three-Headed Snake. I saved a total of 14 out of 16 songs from this album. That's only 2 misses. I would give this album an 85 overall with multiple badges. At 4, we have I Took the Top Off, I'm Different Like High Sauce. We got Drip Season 3, man. This is easily the best installment of the Drip Season series. This album is dummy stacked, bro. Oh, okay. Money Don't Change You, Toast Up, Pedestrian, King Kong, Top Off, At the Hotel, and Spin Addiction are all on this album. Nigga, he was going crazy making this shit, bro. The mic he was recording on when he was making this shit had to be on Literal Fire, bro. Those are all amazing ass songs that I just listed. Now, this album could have been a top 3 project, but it barely just missed the cup. Gunna went 14 for 17 on this album. My top 3 would have to be Spinning Addiction, Toast Up, and OK. I would give this album an 88 overall with multiple badges, all types of animations. Next up at number 3, we got DS Forever. Now you should have knew Gunna was about to cook when you saw that album cover. That shit is fire, so you should expect this album to be fire. Now I don't know why, bro, but I be seeing this album get way too much hate, bro. Like, can we just go over some of the songs on this album, bro? Pushin' P, Private Island, Mop, Poochie Gown, Thought I Was Playing, P Power, A Lot of Cake, Living Wild, South to West, and so many more. Now you gotta think about this. This album was a moment. Number 1, he outsold The Weeknd in first week sales. The Weeknd is easily bigger than Gunna, so that's an achievement itself. And also, you also gotta think about the fact that Gunna had the whole world saying P and using the P emoji, which has never been used before, until Gunna started saying Pushin' P. And nigga, no one even knew what it meant. I damn sure didn't. I was walking around, yeah nigga, I'm pushing P. I'm pushing P. I didn't know what that shit meant though. I ain't gonna lie, I first thought he meant pushing pineapples or some shit, or pushing pussy, but shit, it was hard. It was a movement. It got the people going, man, so I was saying it. The production is good. The flows he shows is amazing. The only real complaint I have is some of the features fall a little short. Gunna went 16 for 20 on this album, and I give this an 89 overall. My top 3 are Living Wild, Gunna's best song ever, Private Island, and Pushin' P. At number 2, we in top 2 territory. We got A Gift and a Curse. Now, I'm not gonna lie, for a minute, I had this album not even top 3, but bro, not too long ago, a couple months ago, this shit grew on me so bad, bro. And I think it's my most played Gunna album, but I love this album now. That 4-track run that Gunna has towards the end of the album, it goes Bread and Butter, Turns Your Back, I Was Just Thinking, and Alright. Insane. All of those songs are added to my main playlist. I play all those songs a lot to this day. And this may be a little bit of a hot take, but Alright is a top 2 Gunna song of all time. Now, the thing that I really like about this album, Gunna did what we all want him to do. This whole album is just him getting personal, and it works. The tracks where Gunna does open up the most those are my favorite songs of his on this album. And a lot of those songs to me are all-time great Gunna songs. No features, no support from the industry. Gunna drops the album of the year contender for 2023. That's how you know this nigga was making real music, bro. Gunna did not miss once on here. My top 3 is Alright, I Was Just Thinking, and Back to the Moon. This album was a 91 overall. Lastly, the best album, I ain't gonna lie, you low-key should expect this one. At number 1, we got What Up? I don't even know where to start with this album, nigga. Nigga, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful body of work. This is Gunna at his best. This is Gunna at his peak. The production on this album is just beautiful. And the production, it complements Gunna so well. Like the way Gunna just smoothly and elegantly glides over these beautiful beats, bro. It's a work of art. It has to be studied in schools. It needs to be. If I had to describe this album in one word, it's sensational. And what's even crazier, there's not even a single bad feature. Every feature works on this album. Gunna goes 26 for 26 from the field. He shot 100% from the goddamn... Nigga, 26 songs and he didn't miss once? That's how you know he was cooking. My top 3 from this album will have to be 200 for Lunch, Do Better, and Met Gala. I give this album a 94 overall. A beautiful build, bro. Easily one of the greatest trap albums of all time. But listen, well, that's all for the video. Let me know in the comments what's your top 3 Gunna albums, bro. And like I said earlier in the video, there's probably gonna be a new series where I just rank different artists' discographies. So let me know in the comments who you want to see, and I'll get it done. And then if you let me know in the comments, you might as well subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the video when it drops. Listen, but that's all for the video, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, man. Y'all Spadowski. Love y'all. Hee!